Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're having a good week so far. Last month in July, we talked about tips for weary Christians. Well, for the next few weeks, I want to help us get through the week by offering you a word to focus on, to help grow through the week. This is based on two concepts. The first concept is one thing at a time. I'm a terrible golfer, but I know that when I have taken golf lesson, the teacher always tells me to try and focus on one thing at a time. If I try and focus on getting every single thing right at the same time, it just all blurs together. But if I can fix my hands first, and then the next week work on my stance, and then the next week work on a backswing, etc., maybe, just maybe, I will make some progress. So each week I want to give you a word to think about. The second concept is we count what counts for us. So if you believe that the word and the attitude it expresses really matters, then count how many times you say it, either aloud or in your mind. And if you begin to count something, you will naturally move toward increasing it. So we're going to count one word each week and see how many times we find ourselves saying it. So this first week, the word is awesome. Look for things that give you wonder. Say awesome and make that a word of praise. Now, I've been told that if you're over 21, you aren't supposed to use the word awesome because it doesn't really fit grown-ups. Well, you know, Psalm 68 says, awesome is God in God's sanctuary, ascribe to God power and majesty. So I think if the Bible says it, I can say it too. Acts 2 tells us that when the early church gathered in love, awe came upon everyone. It was awesome. I recently saw two beautiful horses running together in a pasture. Their manes were whipping in the wind, and the sun glistened off the sweat bathed on the back of the bay-colored horse. And it was just awesome to see. My daughter sent me a video of my 5-month-old grandson, Jude. We call him Juju sometimes, and he was just laughing. It was awesome. This last Sunday, when I heard and saw our choir sing in their little Hollywood squares, and they sang, "Build a church with human kindness, build a church of flesh and bone," something welled up inside my chest. Awesome. This last week we had drive-in communion, and I looked out at all those cars of people coming to receive the bread and juice in a tiny little self-serve cup. But they were hungry to receive some tangible sign of the presence of God. It was awesome. Now, one has to be careful, or it becomes just a word you say without any real power behind it, kind of like a retort when you can't think of anything else but you want to seem positive. That doesn't really count. Like when you say, oh yeah, awesome. No, let it come from moments when awe really comes upon you because you see what God is doing. All around you, God is at work. And that work calls for a response from you and from me. So a word of praise, say it to ascribe to God majesty and power. See if you can find yourself saying it and meaning it at least 10 times this week. Love you, St. Luke's. I'll see you Sunday.